Guys, good evening. Welcome to a brand new episode of 10-Minute Kick-Ass Coaching on Monday evening here in my home office. Just getting some paperwork done and some things touched up. It's been a pretty busy day for both me and the restoration side of the business, so I am just literally winding down. It's about 8:30 Eastern time. It's just been, like I said, a very chaotic day, but really had me thinking about a particular subject today that I really haven't talked about. And you think after maybe 86, 87 episodes, I would have talked about everything, but actually, no. I've come up with some new ones, and this one in particular is really important. I can't believe I haven't actually addressed it before, but it's called follow-through or follow-up. What do you do to follow up with your customers, your prospects, your sales prospects, your employees, your technicians? Follow-up isn't just selling. It is following up with your employees. It's following up with your customers. It's following up with everybody. So what do you do that automatically with your business indicates that you have a follow-up system in place? You have something that's going on that is a great way to make sure you follow through with the customer. So one of the things we used to do with the large franchise I worked with many, many years ago was, hey, Ralph, how are you, buddy? One of the things we used to do many years ago was follow up and call every single customer for every single visit. And this was a carpet cleaning company. This was a carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, tile and grout cleaning company. And we would call every single customer, absolutely every single one. So the call, and I mean, there was quite a few. So we would do an average of 20 to 30 jobs a day. I know some people do more than that. Some people do significantly less than that, but our average was 20 to 30 jobs a day. So we would make sure those phone calls went through the next day. We would leave messages for them to call back, give us their feedback, anything they wanted to talk about with their customer, what they wanted to address with the customer to make sure they understood, make sure they knew what was going on. Great. We would, of course, take care of that. But it had me thinking. I automatically did follow up, and we do it with our business too as well. We do it through two different ways. We do it through a review at the end of the job. We do it with information from the customer at the end of the job. But of course, ultimately, if they're going to write something nice about us, that's really a win-win for everybody. And we have tons and tons of great reviews. We don't just get the customer's feedback, but we get the review, good, bad, or ugly. You know, sometimes they're not always perfect. Sometimes we're really blown away with the results. That's part of a follow-up or follow-through procedure. If you have somebody that you've been selling to, let's say you're working in the sales capacity, salesman or woman, and you're out there in the field and you're talking to these people, and at some point you decide, I've had enough. I give nothing more to say. There's nothing more for me to do. They're not going to work with me no matter what it is. I've been going to them for 6 months and they won't give me the time of day. They keep telling me basically get lost in the nicest form possible. And I don't understand why I can't get an opportunity. I know I can deliver the best value and the best product, the best service to this person. Why won't they give me the opportunity? It's not really about you most of the time. It's about a current situation they have. It's a current agreement they have, a current arrangement they have. Give you a small example. We did a job for one of our longtime clients over the weekend. It was actually a mistake that one of his guys, I guess, had made. I don't think it was, it could have gone either way, but let's just say the business owner took accountability and said, one of my technicians could have made a mistake here. We're not quite sure it's 100%, but we're going to take accountability for it. We're going to take it on. And we went out there. It was a Saturday job, so it's obviously after hours. And very small job, very small things affected. Most of the guys did the work. The technicians for the company was a sewer and drain cleaning company. And they had some water backup, not soiled water so much as just really shower water that had come back in. So nothing really severe, pretty safe and relatively clean water. We got to it very quickly too as well, which helps. Affected some very small areas. Everything was pretty extractable, cleanable. There was some fibers we have to clean afterwards, but I feel pretty comfortable with this. Again, we got to it pretty fast. So this particular business owner, again, been dealing with for years, very hard to get, very hard to work with. We're very, very easy to work with, I should say, very hard to secure the opportunity to work with them. Calls us today, calls my office, calls me, calls my former business partner and says, hey, I appreciate you guys doing the work. I really, really do. I appreciate you going out and servicing the job for my customer. I appreciate you going the extra mile with these folks. And but I've got to pay you for your services. You won't submit me a bill. You won't do anything. Now, one of the things we do with our referral partners, if it's for the most part really not their a big mess up, a big screw up, and they make a mistake, we try to help them out the best we possibly can. If it's a small job, we just take care of it. And if we can eat the costs, we will. If we have to incur some costs, we certainly pass that on to them. Depends on the size of the job, too. Depends on what we have. If it's a big water damage job, then we have to sort it out a different way. But if it's just a small enough job, we're going to go out there and try and fix it for him. Well, this guy wasn't having it. And he said to me, Rob, every single time our company has referred you, and these folks took us a good year and a half to get in with, and I had to have somebody else spread a good word to give us the influence to go in and do work for these people. And he said, listen, I'd refer you anyway. I already like you. You already do good work. You're already honest. You're already ethical. You're not going to lose my work because you're going to send me a bill. That's just stupid. I mean, don't be crazy with the bill, obviously, but send me a bill. I want to pay you guys. Nobody works for free. Nobody works for these small amounts of money. But I want to pay you. And I tried everything in my power to get this particular person to just let it go and call it like it was, and we're going to take care of it for him. And he was not hearing it. He said, not only do I don't like, owing somebody, which we don't look at it that way. We didn't look at it. We're just hoping that he's going to run into some other situations that he can refer a business. He just wasn't having it. So he wants the bill. And I think we're going to eventually have to give him a bill. He's a really great guy, really ethical, runs a great company, fast growing, one of the fastest growing companies in New York City. For that reason, they're honest and ethical. But his follow through was so much that, like, the customer loved you there. Our guys made the mistake. They raved about how good you guys were, and you went out there. You being me, went out there Saturday and helped the jam. And in those situations like that, I don't usually bring other technicians in for multiple reasons. Not that they don't do a great job, because they do, but I want to really limit costs. I don't want to go out there and bear a bunch of costs on a freebie, essentially. And again, he wasn't having it, so we'll have to bill him for something. But he thought enough of us to think that the follow-up with him was, I'm not accepting this. You do great work. I'll need you anyway. You got to bill me. So we're going to have to bill him. There's just no way. We'll just do it very modestly and do it. We're not going to insult his intelligence and bill from something very minor. We're going to give him somewhat of a bill to it and just try and put something together that makes him happy. But it made me think about the follow-up. I mean, we followed up with his customer. We followed up with the person that the damage affected at, and he followed up with us to make sure that, we sent him a bill. What are you doing for your follow-up? Again, this person took me a year and a half to get. I went through hoops left and right, dozens and dozens and dozens of phone calls. And to no avail, one day we finally get them because somebody else, another person of influence said, work with them. I know them. They're legit guys. They do good work. I know Rob personally. Give it a shot. And they've never looked back with us. But a follow-up is just crucial. We follow up with our customers. We follow up with sales prospects. Is 6 months just too soon to give my opinion? Yes. In fact, unless somebody tells me where to go, nicely or not so nicely, I'm going to keep you on my list. I'm going to keep marketing to you. I'm going to keep bringing stuff to you. I'm going to try and earn the business with you. That's what I do. Even since I've sold off my shares to the business and I'm just really just a glorified employee when it comes to that now. I decided to stay on because I had those great relationships. Really, the key reason I stayed on with the business was because of those great relationships, of those people that have believed in us and given us the opportunity. Because I'm able to do it remotely. I don't live right there in New York City anymore, so I can do it remotely. I don't have to be there every single day. But I've built those relationships over time that I value, and I will walk on water for them. But I make sure the follow-up is done. I make sure that they're happy. If we don't get a job, we don't secure the job at a customer's home or business, the referring party that calls us, I got to call them and say, hey, we didn't get this job. We did get this job, whatever it was. I got to make sure I follow through, because if I don't, what do you think that referring person thinks? Well, they think we did the job. Well, if I didn't do the job, I didn't call them. They just assume we did the job. Then there gets to be a bit of resentment because I didn't follow through and say, we didn't get the job. So, and it's going to happen to everybody every once in a while. Things are going to fall through the cracks. I don't care how small or how big you are. It's going to fall through the cracks. I don't care how many people and things you have in place. Sometimes things will fall through the cracks. But make sure you put things in place that are a follow-up in your business, whether it's in your marketing efforts, whether it's in your employee relations, whether it's in your customer relations, whether it's in your vendor relations or your referring parties, whatever it is. We're a B2B to B2C business. What does that mean in long terms? Well, if your business, you know, B2B means business to business and business to consumer. So we don't do a lot of work business to consumer. We actually did a job today that was a repeat business, a repeat person. So that is a B2C, but it's rare. Usually the referring parties are finding us in there. So if I don't follow through with them, don't have a reputation for doing what I say I'm going to do, somebody else is going to take that and run with it. And I don't deserve to have their business if somebody else takes it and runs with it. So think about your follow-up systems. What do you have in place for your customers, for your clients, for your employees, for your referring parties, everybody around you? How do you follow through to make sure the communication channel stays open? Think about this. This is a pretty important subject. I'm actually kind of shocked that I haven't actually talked about it before. It hasn't really been brought up. I don't see it under any other forums, but a follow-through and a follow-up. It's very important across the board. You follow through with your technicians. You follow through with your employees in the office, your associates. You follow through with your managers. You're following through with your customers. You're following through with your parties or your prospects. You're following through. What are you doing to make sure it doesn't drop out? Because 6 months and 1 day might be the chance of opportunity of a lifetime, might be the referral relationship. I'm going to tell you a quick story and I'll leave it with this. One of our great referring sources is a big water main company here. That they really only call us when it's something on their end that either they're claiming responsibility and they need a good ethical company to clean it up, or they can refer us, but usually they need us for their own services. They're just a huge company to deal with a whole bunch of different things. Very, very big, both in Brooklyn and Staten Island. And I was on the phone with that person one day, and he calls up and thinks I'm a competitor of mine. And I say, no, I'm not, but can I help you? Because I was frankly curious. I'm not. That competitor, I spent years working for the corporate office a long, long time ago. So I was just curious. This is what, can I help you with anything or answer any questions for you? I wasn't trying to take the business away from that competitor, that major franchise. I was just asking a question. And he says, well, this is what I got. What do you think I should do about this? And I started explaining it to him. Well, apparently what I said he seemed to like. And he said the corporate giant or the corporate franchise had not been giving him the level of service or at least follow through on a lot of jobs. One of the things he complained about the most was that when the guys were on the job, they didn't call him to let them know when something major had come up, and they just went with whatever way they want and sent them the bill afterwards. And sometimes the bill would be $3,000 to $4,000 more than the expected amount, which of course would make him not very happy, especially when he went to his boss and says, well, it's going to be this, and now it's going to be this. All because they didn't follow through with each other. It's not the consumer's responsibility to follow through. He's the customer. They're the client. They don't need to follow through with you. It's your job. If a change happens and you need to follow through with somebody, do you follow through? Do you make sure that contact is there, that your follow-up and your follow-through is done? And that includes changes in jobs, especially when it's a substantial amount. It doesn't matter how big the company and how big the job, doesn't matter how long the relationship, doesn't matter how long. You got to follow through every single time. And as I always say, without excuses, you know? So guys, girls, have a great evening. I really appreciate being here. I'll have a brand new episode tomorrow for 10-Minute Kick-Ass Coaching. Again, brand new ones coming to you on a daily basis. And I want to get into, just to let you know, we're going to be talking heavily about marketing and marketing systems here in the near future. It's going to take between 5 and 7 days. We're going to break down different versions of marketing, different examples, and really dig into the lifeblood that is a business, the real oxygen in a business, which is your marketing. It's what I'm called upon most in coaching to do, is to help people with their marketing advice. Most of their marketing has to be streamlined, efficient in a systems format. What does that mean? It means it's a system, just like building a house, and you got to make sure it's integrated, and not everybody's the same. So we build custom suites to our customers' needs when it comes to their efficiencies and their marketing and their operations and their business. So thanks so much. I appreciate you, and we will see you for a brand new episode tomorrow. Thanks. Have a good night.